explain an analogy that I have created with the example of roses to help understand change of heart. So here I have some fresh roses. I'm just going to take one rose for this analogy, and I recommend that you take any flower or rose and do the analogy with me in order for a better understanding. This rose represents our heart. This is my rose, so it's going to represent my heart. Your rose will represent your heart. As you can see, this is a fresh rose, not an artificial rose. The reason I decided to get a fresh rose is because our heart wakes up every day and has a new life, a day to do good, just like the rose has a new day to live in its vase. Now, let's take a big sniff of the rose. The fragrance is absolutely beautiful. So let's say that the scent of the rose represents our deeds. Now, we know that we have a deed book, one on the right, one on the left. We haven't seen these, but we know that there are two angels that are recording every action that we do. Let's say that the books of deeds have some type of a scent. So if I go to a person who has excellent manners, very sweet and very kind, they have a beautiful scent, an elegant fragrance. Whereas if I go to someone else, they have very disrespectful manners, very jealous and arrogant. That means that they have kind of a nasty odor to them, and that might be because of their character and their bad deeds. So let me ask you a question. If your deeds had a scent, would it be the fragrance of good deeds and good character, or would it be the odor of the bad deeds? Remember that our souls go back to our Creator, so which scent would you choose? The petals, they are one of the most attractive parts of the rose. So the more petals we have, the more beautiful we find the rose. You know how when people say, when you're looking for love, do you look for personality or looks? And a lot of people just say personality, so let's just assume that the petals are qualities that make up our personality. Each of these represent one of the personality traits that we have. Let's say the first one is jealousy. Jealousy can easily turn into arrogance, which can cause you to lie. And then you also have some good traits too, being kind. But because those negative qualities has overtaken, slowly, you start getting rid of them, becoming caring, being sweet to people, all these types of qualities. And slowly what starts to happen is when all those qualities are overtaken, you lose your personality and all the best qualities that you had, leaving you with just a stem, meaning no character, because the petals represented your personality, but you don't have any left now. Remember, everyone has value to themselves. We are all unique in our own ways. But what tends to happen is that when we are under the pressure of peers or social media, we start implementing those negative characteristics, which of course take away our good. Getting rid of those old habits can be difficult, but it can be done. But if you want to ask yourself, would you like to just stay like this as a person with no character, or would you rather want to be a person who has a beautiful rose full of petals? Let's just take a step back. So usually when you buy roses, it's always in some type of a plastic wrap or cardboard paper. And the reason people do that is to either make it presentable or just to protect the rose. Now, as you can see during my analogy, I had no paper. The reason was because this rose is your heart. So you are the guards of your heart. You are the protectors of your heart. But do you want your moral values to stay with you as you find that spiritual self-being, or would you rather let go of them in this dunya and suffer in the akhirah? The choice is yours. You do you, I do me. We are going to be judged independently. So blossom your rose to the point where your heart is connected to Islam. Implement the qualities and the values you must have to become the best version of yourselves. So you decide whether you want your rose, your heart, to become as blossomed as this one, or a lonely stem like this.